Hey friends, welcome back to the Miles of Disc Golf. Hey friends, welcome back to the Miles of Disc Golf channel here on YouTube. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be looking at what discs I'm going to take in my bag for the 2023 season. Now the bag mostly is made up of all the discs that I used last year, but there's a few things that I think I'm missing, and one in particular, and the one we're talking about today, is an overstable approach. Now, shout out to Jake Voskamp. He's the one who said, hey, check out the Innova Toro, you'll love it. So, we've got Calvin Heimberg Champion Glow Toro, made by Innova, and we're going to compare it against the Clash Mint in special blend that I got from that Clash 1-year anniversary disc. Now we're out here just in a random park. We've got a basket probably about 150, 200 feet behind me, and all that we're going to do here is just compare the two discs. Now whichever one I like the most is going to go straight into the bag, and the other one I'm going to be giving away. Now the things that I'm looking for in an overstable approach disc: it needs to be good for both backhand and forehand. I'm going to want a nice flat profile. It needs to sit in the hand well. Other than that, I just need that consistency, predictability, know that it's always going to fade, regardless of kind of the throw. Now, right out of the gate, both plastics feel very similar. It is cold out, so I mean, things are going to feel a little bit harder than normal anyways. Looking at the disc profile, and I'll show a close-up, but it appears that the Toro is a little bit deeper, which might be good for my slightly larger hands. It has a rounder shoulder and less of a kind of that overstability straight line than compared to the Mint. Both are almost perfectly flat, if not perfectly flat. They both feel good, so yeah, let's do a couple of test runs here. Let's see how they fly and which one I like better. Fingers crossed no dogs in the park come out of nowhere and grab some discs, because that might make my decision a little bit easier. So starting off, let's go backhand with the Toro. We're probably 150 feet out right now, so kind of perfect for this type of approach. We're going to throw this flat, hanging out wide, see if we can get it to fade back in nicely. Wow, okay, pretty much right at 10 feet. That's perfect, super overstable, just the way I like it. Started to fade as soon as it left my hand. Okay, now for the Clash Mint. Again, feels great in the hand, nice and flat. Snow is a lot. It might affect the grip here, we'll see. Okay, same thing, hanging out wide, nice and flat. Let the natural fade come in. Okay, not as overstable. All right, let's go grab those and then we'll be back. So a cool trick that I learned the other day from Nico Forbes and his dad Carl when I was out playing around with them is that if you leave the discs out in the cold, so like in your garage or something, overnight before you play with them, snow won't stick to them. Who knew? So if you're another player that's out there in a winter climate, that's a real hot tip. So first thoughts, yeah, the Mint wasn't as overstable as the Toro. That's either that's neither here nor there. Personal preference once again. Both are feeling great in the hand. Let's try that one more time, release them flat, hang them out wide, see if there's a little bit just of thrower variation in that. Again, lots of snow here, so my form is going to be inconsistent based on level ground and just throwing power. But they're overstable approach this, right? We're not very far, don't need to throw them hard. Let the natural fade do its thing. Okay, this time we'll go with the Clash Disc Mint first. Okay, we saw a bit more of that fade in that one. It's parked. So in that throw, they seem to be pretty similar, actually. So I think that first one was just kind of a miss. We'll go grab those and then we'll try some on forehand and see which one feels better. So a very useful throw out on the course is going to be a hyzer spike, of course. Now these approach discs aren't going to be as soft, so you might get more of a skip than something like a softer Pig or even, Jawbreaker Zone or something like that. But I think let's try them on some hyzers now, backhand hyzers, and see how they perform. Let's start out with the Toro this time. Flew great, even though I slipped. Like I said, lots of snow, lots of ice. Not ideal conditions, but that's what we got to do out here. Okay, going with the Mint now. Same thing, hyzer spike. Yeah, no difference really between the two. They both felt great on that hyzer line, as they should. Like I said, these discs are so similar. It's going to be coming down probably to hand feel more than anything else. But let's try them on some forehands, because that's really important for me as well too. They both have that nice flat profile, so I think they're both going to be great on the forehand, but who knows, maybe we'll find something different. Let's try it out. I almost forgot to try them out on these backhand flex lines, so instead of going straight to forehands, we're going to try the backhand flex lines. Just see how they fight out of that anhyzer, see how overstable they are, how dependable they really are. This time we'll start with the Clash first. Okay, so that actually held that one held that anhyzer for quite some time actually. I'm surprised it didn't fight out of it earlier. Let's see how it compares to this Toro. Both of them basically are fighting out of it almost immediately. I think the turn held a little bit longer in the Mint. Might have just got a little bit more power on it. Either way, very similar. So as I've been saying, these discs are very, very similar, but one thing that I noticed while walking back here is actually right at the shoulder, so right before where the disc is, going to bevel around the edge of that flight plate, it feels like there's a little bit of an upturn in the Toro, almost like a really mini thumb track, whereas it goes downwards on the Mint. Now I'm coming from throwing a Pig as my overstable approach that just beats in too quickly for me, so I'm looking for something a little bit more overstable and to hold that kind of overstableness longer. And so that's why we're here. So that might be why I lean towards the Toro, but we're still yet to see. So let's start with some forehands here. Okay, so straight forehand starting with the Toro. Again, they both feel great in the hand. There's not much of a difference. Let's see how they handle a little bit more torque and spin from a forehand. There is a dog watching me, so hopefully they don't like discs. Yep, right on target. Again, a little bit of an anhyzer release. That's probably just my natural tendency to throw overstable approach discs though. I'll try and mimic it on this. Fought out of it perfectly, right on line, right on target. And likewise. Okay, time to try out both of these on some forehand spike hyzer lines. I think they're both going to feel great again. Like I said, they're so similar. Just the subtle differences are what's making them unique or feeling a little bit better in the hand. I'm definitely leaning towards one way right now. I'm not going to say which, but let's just see if the forehands here make a difference in my decision. Oh my goodness, that just flashed in front of the basket. Again, super dependable, still feels pretty good. For the Toro, let's see if we can get one of these to go in. Oh, that slipped right out of my hand. Okay, we're going to, I bet you that wasn't even on screen. We're going to edit that out. Okay, now that we've edited out that terrible throw, this will be the forehand on a spike hyzer. Oh, we're about 2 feet. Okay, so decision-making time. Is it going to be the Innova Toro, or is it going to be the clashdiscs Mint? Well, I'll be honest with you. They both felt pretty similar. They're going to fly about the same. You might get just a slight bit more straight flying with the clashdiscs Mint than you would the Toro. But the main difference that I'm feeling anyways is the depth is just slightly deeper with the Toro, and it has that mini thumb track that I was talking about earlier. Not to mention this is a Calvin Heimberg one. I'm a huge Calvin Heimberg fan, so I'm going to choose the Calvin Heimberg Innova Toro. That's what's going into my bag this year as the overstable approach disc. So that means I'm giving away the Clash Discs Mint. So let's do this something different. Let's comment below your favorite person to have on the card and your favorite approach disc. Once you do that, I'll pick a winner at random and we'll be giving this disc away to the folks at home. Now, I don't think you're gonna go wrong with either of these discs. Like I said, they feel very similar. They're both fantastic discs. I actually probably threw this one better, but I'm just liking the feel of this one better. It's giving me some more confidence. If you have a smaller hand, maybe the Clash Mint would be more up your style. Maybe if you're not used to a thumb track, so you're more used to your zones and things like that, maybe give this one a try. Either way, thanks again for tuning into the channel. That was great. Super excited to be putting the Calvin Heimberg Toro in the bag. I'm a huge fan of Calvin, so not only is this a great disc, I get to support a guy that I love on tour, but that's also great news for you because that means that I'm giving away the Clash Discs Mint. So remember, all that you need to do is like and subscribe, and then comment down below on my Instagram channel as well as my YouTube channel. It's 2 chances to win your favorite tee partner, your favorite person on your card, and your favorite approach disc to be entered in to win this disc. Now next is going to be my distance drivers. I've been struggling a little bit with my distance drivers, so I want to give some time into throwing, working on my form, but I still need to pick a distance driver that is going to stay in my bag. I've flopped around. I've had cloud breakers, I've had destroyers. I currently have a wild honey in there. I've got some wraiths in there, but I need to make a decision. And so what I've narrowed it down to is wraith versus grace. So check out, subscribe, come back next week when I announce who wins the disc, the Clash Discs Mint, and we'll narrow down my distance drivers for the year between the Wraith and the Grace. And then once that's done, I'll go through my entire bag for you, and we'll talk about some of the awesome sponsorships that are going on as well too. Yeah, I'm just super excited to keep this channel rolling. As you can see, it's winter. It's getting snowier and snowier, which is good if you like to ski. It's sad if you like to throw discs. But I'm going to keep this content coming for you, and also for my own sanity, because apparently all I do is talk about disc golf all day long. So thanks again for tuning in, and remember folks, get out and throw.